Hi guys, welcome back to another Daily Tarot Card. These are your Daily Tarot Cards for Wednesday, October 26th, 2022. Today we're pulling from the Beauty of Horror Tarot Cards. So today is Monday technically, and it's Diwali. So we are starting eclipse season tomorrow. So eclipse season is supposed to rectify situations. So I feel like with the Star card, and especially its definition, we are talking about that they were the last, for me it's been 5.5 years. Some people it's longer, some people it's shorter, showing us what we're made of. I feel like we allowed our light to dim. We allowed ourselves to be put into a box, and the lid was being shut. And I feel like this is the universe rescuing us from that. It's like, you're not going to conform to that. You know what I mean? I definitely was, trying to be whittled down to be like, why do you believe in what you believe in? And it's just like, I'm not going to let anyone whittle me down with that. I believe in what I believe in because it has gotten me through my whole life. And no one's going to ever tell me any different. Maybe you may see it differently. I see it this way. It doesn't affect anybody. I'm not harming anyone. You know what I mean? Diwali is about the festival of lights, bringing that light into life. Very Hanukkah vibes. We start off with one single candle. And you see how the room illuminates on day 8. It's like a bonfire going on in your home. And you sit there with obviously no harm to none. We don't want no bonfires going on. But I feel like it's just like, even though people wanted you to drown, you see the octopuses reaching for her arms, trying to pull her under. We are in Scorpio season. The sun is in Scorpio, the moon is in Libra. This is all about our emotions. So with Diwali, with the gathering of families, it's like, is there someone that you had strife with? Should we rectify this? Should we just forget it? There is no time clock over our heads showing us when our day of transformation is going to happen. Or resurrection, either one. So it's like, why not make it right now while you have the opportunity? Sometimes we're given opportunities and we don't see them as those opportunities. And we wish we would get those opportunities back. When, God forbid, when those people transition. So with the Star card, I feel like they're saying you're tougher than you think. I feel like with the Emperor, life is about to get so much sweeter. I feel like a lot of us feel like, how in the heck can this transform into something else? How can this change? And then the universe steps in and it's like, this is how, I definitely, this year, I was just like, I don't know how, like even the past 5.5 years is like, how are we going to make it through it every month? And, it doesn't matter if I was babysitting, doing cards, whatever it was. It's just like, we always made it, So I feel like it's just like, when I was ready and they knew I could handle certain situations, they put one thing after another in my life. You know what I mean? This looks so much like when Aegon, just before he transitions, when he walks up with this cane, up to the throne to stand up for his daughter. When he's like, I will sit on the throne today. I honestly, I feel that with this Emperor card. It looks like Nosferatu, but I definitely get that vibe of like, even though you've written me off, I'm still standing. You know what I mean? But I feel like with the Emperor, they're saying when the Emperor shows up, depending with the surrounding cards, we definitely have a lot of positive cards here. They're saying bringing order and structure. And I feel like that's what they're saying here. Many blessings are coming into your home. Diwali, Hanukkah, any of those ceremonies, any of those cultural or spiritual or belief systems that bring in that hope. They're showing the fact of like Remembrance Day is very significant because we are honoring those that allow us to celebrate, that allow us our freedoms. And we forget that a lot, We don't understand the sacrifice of war, and I feel like a lot of these political, if you want to call them leaders, I feel like there's a lot of them are cowards because they haven't even done a moment of service and don't realize what a sacrifice it is on the family not to know if their loved one, you don't hear from them, that anxiety, not hearing from them for days and weeks and months, not knowing if they're dead or alive. You know what I mean? And I feel like, especially with this looming recession, I feel like we're on the precipice of war in a lot of areas. You know what I mean? They're saying nuclear war. I feel like, I feel like it's going to be like Korea all over again. Vietnam, all over again. I feel like they're going to sit there and start pulling birthdays out of hats because they don't even care. It's just like, another person, another body is going to war. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, what a way to control the population. Anyway. So in this situation, they're saying you will be the victor wearing the wreath. I feel like this is encouragement. I feel like this is lighting that fire under your butt. You know, I literally did a reading for someone and I'm like, you should be so proud of yourself. I was so scared. I didn't hear from her for 6 weeks after she lost her husband. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like what is going to happen? You know what I mean? Because she's a very fragile individual. But she's not. I feel like she emotionally feels like she is, but she is very strong. She definitely has fire in her. She got some chutzpah in her. But it's just like, you know, I'm in total awe of her because it's just like she sat there and she did everything that she wanted to accomplish. Everything she talked about while her husband was here, you know, it kind of pushed her forward. You know what I mean? To do the right thing and, you know, not even do the right thing, just to do the things that she always wanted to do. And she always let things stand in her way. And she's going back to school. And I told her how proud of her I was, you know, because she never hears that, how people, you know what I mean? And, you know, that's what I mean. It's like if you're able to be the light in someone's life, do it. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice to someone. You know, we go to the Hierophant and the Lovers here. So I feel like someone could have got eloped and like went to Vegas and got married here. I feel like that. I feel like this could also be going before a boss, a lawyer. I felt like they were talking about a estate, going before a lawyer to read an estate. Someone was left a property. I feel like there's some jealousy, some animosity here. It's like, why did they get it? They have so much. And I feel like because they sat there and they said, this is a beautiful property. You know what I mean? It's just like they never, I like, it's like you can't sit there and go against someone that's transitioned. And like they had all that time to switch things around and it never was switched around. So it's just like, you know what? It is what it is. You know what I mean? If you want the property, maybe talk to them. I know you were left this property. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'll ever have the opportunity to have a property like this. You know, may I have it? You know, you never know unless you ask. You know, but I feel like there's some animosity there. And I feel like if you want the property, then you say, I want this property. I want it for my children. I want to build a little cottage on it. I want to maybe build your dream home there because you plan on retiring. Who knows what this is going to be? You know what I mean? But it's just like, you know what I mean? You cannot sit there and be angry at someone that is still here in the flesh because someone has transitioned and left them something. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You cannot, that's that person's final wish. Are you really going to be angry at someone because of that? With the Lovers, they're saying this, like this death sun. I feel like a skullette. I love skulls. Everybody knows that. You know what I mean? I think that's a cool sun. I don't feel any bad energy with this at all. I definitely feel like this is a blessed, fiery union. I definitely feel like passion. I feel like you're finally meant to be together. I felt like that's where we were talking about last Friday, where it was like that deck. I love it. What is it? The something woman? I can't remember. But the Shining Woman. It's just like, you know, where the why came together. It's like your paths are destined to be together now. You're destined to come together. So I feel like maybe this is coming together in a marriage. Like, I feel like this is a commitment. Will it be marriage? Who knows? But I feel like it'll come into that commitment. I feel like if you want it, though, I feel like maybe your feelings have changed. I feel like someone's feelings has changed in this. I feel like maybe because they didn't see it coming forward, I feel like they're kind of over it, you know, just to be honest. Maybe you know what I mean? I felt like maybe you went back and forth a little too much. And that was it. It was just like, they were just like, that's it. I give up. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth and emotionally abuse myself when I deserve better. You know, obviously the situation is what it is, but it's just like, you know, you can't toy with people's emotions going back and forth. And you know what I mean? It's just, it gets to be too much. Come here, go away. Come here, go. If you don't want them to come here, then don't freaking ask them to come here. Do not awaken someone's heart and not have any intention to sit there and be there for them. You know what I mean? That is the cruelest thing you could do to someone. I know someone that went through this. They acted like they were interested, and every time that they talk, they know they're in a sweet spot, they hit them up for money. I said, he is a bum. Run. You know? It's just like, who asks a single woman with a child for money? I'm like, no. I told her, run. Nuh-uh. I'm like, this is twice now. And it's not like he asked for like $20. He asked for like $1,000. I was like, what single woman has $1,000? Like, go rub a lamp. Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? So I feel like on an energetic realm that, you know, this is a union. So we're starting off with the Star card. Around her are bare trees, spiky leaves, and dark flowers. And harsh as her world is, she will make it through. She is, in fact, the one of the deck's heroes. She has survived the tower, and nothing can stop her. And I don't care he, she, they. I don't care who this resonates with. Do not let that situation define you. You are a survivor. Nothing can stop you. And that's what the universe is telling you. You may feel like your face was dragged in the mud and people kicked you down when they should have been lifting you up. The universe was showing you who they are. You are about to come into this sweet, sweet season, and they will regret the fact that they treated you the way they did. Don't bat an eye at them. You keep moving forward. Don't let nobody freaking come back in your life that doesn't deserve it. Hope, especially after a painful or frightening experience, discovering your inner strength in rough situations. Some sign or discovery that gives you courage, healing, and medicine, including herbal or other old forms of treatment. A witch or a wise woman healer. It's like, you know what I mean? You've gone through these situations. Why aren't you sitting there helping others? You know what I mean? That is the reason we were blessed with this. Everybody is blessed with this, but some people delve into it more. You know what I mean? Some people put that energy into there. Maybe that's why like these situations arise. I've pushed this off since I was a child, and it's just like, oh, no longer. It's like, my purpose. Basically, it was my purpose. Path was cleared for my purpose. You know what I mean? I thought I was close to God. I even got closer. You know what I mean? And my most broken down moments, tribal trails, mass foreshadowing, especially tribal trails, really spoke to me, lifted me up. You know, certain songs that they played really resonated with me. That's why it's even when I'm dog tired and I don't want to get up and freaking do hymns and mass and everything, I still do it. Because it's like, you know what? I'm sure God some days is just like, you again. I'm sure he would never say that, but it's just like, even if God was tired, he would never sit there and be like, I'm too tired to serve you. Shabbat is one day out of the week. We have 6 days to do whatever we want. It's the one day to be devoted to him and do the right thing. So why not do it? Even when you're tired, do it. You will find your rest. Does the Emperor contain a good side? With positive cards around, he can represent structure and give life direction. And that's what I feel like here. We're getting, you will be the victor wearing the wreath. I feel like this is positive. I feel like you're in that final sprint. When you're running a marathon and it's just like that final curve into the finish line? That's where you are. You're at the finish line of this journey. We're leaving this behind. I feel like this eclipse energy is, even though it's double shadow, you know what I mean? If you went through it next week, I feel like this week is going to be a lot lighter for you. I definitely feel that. I feel like last week was just like clearing that energy. You know what I mean? I feel like, especially if you fell for someone and you like them a lot, and I feel like this marriage is them, I feel like it will be devastating, but you got to understand, like Spirit reminded me so boldly, if it was meant to be in your life, it would have been in your path. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. And I will never sit there and give my energy to something that doesn't deserve it, because it's just like, not even doesn't deserve it. That's harsh to say. It's just like, you know what? I fell for what I fell for. That's all I could do. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just showing that I'm ready for if someone did come in my life. I'm not going to force anything. Shh. Come here. This dog. I just feel like it's like, don't sit there. It just because someone, shows you, like, there was an option where I could have been with someone. If I really wanted to be in a relationship, I could have. You know what I mean? But it's just like, the energy wasn't there. You know what I mean? But it's just like the right situations will arise. I feel like it just woken something in me that I haven't felt in a while. And it's just like, you are ready for that to be in your life, And I feel like when the time is right, it will happen. Don't force nothing. Like what they say, if you have to force it, it's usually poop. That could give life direction. If you find a life chaotic, too foolish, you may want some Emperor energy. So Emperor energy, order and structure. I feel like with Emperor energy, it's just like, don't forget who you are. You know what I mean? Like they always show his robe, up, and you can see his armor underneath. It's like, don't forget who you are. You know what I mean? You need that order and structure because you're being sloppy. You know, I feel like in this situation, I feel like they're saying with the star card, blessings are coming into the home. You know, I feel like these paths, I feel like change is coming in to clear the path for what was meant for you. You know, I felt like these things would have been in your life a lot sooner if we made different choices, but we can't go about that. I feel like whatever was meant for you will always find its way in your path. Rule, authority, control, structure, planning. The authority can become tedious, especially when supported by other cards. For example, the King of Swords, possibly a father, whether for good or ill. I feel like when we get like the King of Swords, for me at least, when I do readings, is like, you know, police or lawyers, but definitely domestic violence is what I get with it. So, you know what I mean? With no harm to none, I hope that's not the case, but we don't have the King of Swords in this case. This is a very positive reading. So with the Six of Wands, Victor wearing the wreath. Confidence, leadership, being firm in your beliefs that others want to follow. You know, I sit there and I've been telling someone to, you know, and not because of my way that I live my life, but Spirit has told me, you should go back to your belief system. They always show me going back to, like, you know, the church or anything like that. And when I read for a specific individual, I said, I feel like they told me she's going to meet this person at church. And she goes, they invited me to go to their church. And I'm like, see? I said, because they want you to meet this person. It's destined. You know what I mean? But it's up to them. You know, if they do it or not. You know, you know what I mean? I don't sit there and be like, oh, you don't do what I say, I'm not going to talk to you no more. That's not how it works. You have to rule beside people, not over them. So, with the Hierophant, most tarot decks show an older image, a pope, which can, in fact, is this card's name in tradition tarot, except the pope is deprived. Wisely laughing, giving a great time, his discipline and skeleton obtained by but lifeless, is staff bears an animal skull instead of a cross. Traditional, official ideas, authority corrupted by power, by people's willingness to bow down to worship. I feel like with this, like that, fine, that's their meaning. You know what I mean? But I feel like in this case, I feel like someone, like I said, I feel like someone eloped. I feel like someone went to Vegas, got married, or something like that. You know, I felt like they were already engaged. So I feel like, you know, that commitment in that case, because it's like, how much more can you get committed, right? So I feel like with the lovers, but I feel like if you are seeking love, I feel like this is this awakening coming in. I feel like, especially with that sun, you know, and the skeleton heart, I definitely feel like, you know, this is, there's like, you know, energetic realm, you know, 3 or 4 lives, this energy has known each other. Angels here are pure, but what the death of head sun, the skeleton hands forming a Valentine heart, or the serpent. What magic is really going on here? Relationships, love's desire. If you ask, will I find a romance at a party I'm going to? The lovers come up. The answer has a yes. So that's funny enough. They were showing me this with someone that I read for. Go to this party, you're going to meet someone. I feel like they wanted to see how she was going to be and everything like that. And she was supposed to meet someone. You know? She actually had to turn around and go back home and change her clothes. But it's just like, you know, I feel like she was meant to meet someone. I feel like this is opening a door for her, you know. But I feel like here, it's just like, you know, especially Diwali being today, I feel like blessings are coming upon the home. If you have any celebrations or ceremonies that you do, definitely take heed of this. They were telling, if you haven't watched the full moon forecast, Gemini was very potent with the full moon. Like I said, I feel like this, whatever is going on here is because it's clearing the path for you. If you know what I mean, it could have been for the path of you two to be together. You know what I mean? They were showing last Friday with the Y with Yeshua. I felt like it's like, you know, those two paths are running together now. So if you're destined to be together, you're destined to be together. Like I said, like Spirit told me, if you're, you know, if it was destined to be in your path, it would be in your path. So it's like, get ready for it, you know? And I feel, but like I said, I feel like there's been too much back and forth. Maybe you're, you know what I mean? I feel like you may be over it, you know? So that's up to you. I feel like if you want it in your life, it's meant to be, it's going to be yours. If you don't, if you're just like, you know what, it's been too much back and forth and it's too messy and complicated, it's not even worth it now. It's just like, you know, or maybe you've just been hurt by it, you know? Maybe you're an emotional creature. But it's up to you. If you want it, it's yours. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Wednesday, October 26th, 2022. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card. Bye.